you have until retirement? And
Good
how much have you saved up for
afternoon
your
and welcome to the fifth edition of the investingh webinar series. I'm Prince Henry Danquah, your host and moderator for today's webinar. investingh is the leading provider of financial news and education in Ghana. Our news, magazines, and more recently webinars have been delivered to thousands of people in Ghana and beyond. We'd like to thank you all for supporting our brand and for joining us for today's webinar. Our webinar today is proudly sponsored by Bora Capital Advisors Limited. They are a fund manager and investment advisory firm that is regulated by the SEC and the NPRA. Bora provides excellent financial and investment solutions that are tailored to the needs of individuals and institutions. You can visit the Bora website on www.boraadvisors.com for more information. This is the fifth webinar in our series. We've had previous webinars that has covered topics on investments in mutual funds, stocks, and real estate investments. We've also discussed how to achieve financial independence. All our previous webinars are available for streaming on our YouTube channel, investingh. I'd like to remind you that this webinar is streaming live on our YouTube channel, investingh. So if you're unable to join us here, or you know someone who is unable to join us via Zoom, kindly send the YouTube live link to the person to join us. The link will be made available in the chat section for everyone to access. Also, if you have any questions during the webinar, kindly direct them to the speakers or to the host under the comment section in our YouTube live stream or here on Zoom. Today, we will discuss pensions, specifically the success story of myownpension, Ghana's largest informal pension scheme. And to take us through this discussion, we have three well-spoken speakers. They are also very experienced in their various fields. Most of them are in the financial sector. They are in the presence of Mr. Seth Obiri, Mr. Nana Sarfo, and Mr. Elias Day. A brief introduction of our speakers for today. Our first speaker, Mr. Seth Obiri, is the Managing Director at UPT, United Pension Trustees Limited. He has over 12 years of experience in Ghana's insurance and pensions industry. Mr. Obiri holds an MBA in Finance from the University of Leicester, UK, and a BSc in Biological Sciences from KNUST. He is also a chartered insurer and an associate of the Chartered Insurance Institute in the UK. Our second speaker, Mr. Nana Sarfo, is the Managing Director at Bora Capital Advisors Limited, our proud sponsor for today. Nana has over 20 years of experience in investment banking. He has also worked on various transactions in Ghana, the UK, and the USA. He holds an MBA from Carleton School of Management, USA, a BA in Economics and Computer Science from the University of Ghana. He is also a chartered certified banker and an SEC licensed investment advisor. Our third speaker, Mr. Elias Day, he is the head of custody and escrow services at Fidelity Bank Ghana Limited. He has over 10 years of experience in custody management and corporate banking. He holds an MSc in Finance and Information Management from University of Westminster in the UK, and a Bachelor of Arts in Administration, Economics and Management from the University of Ghana. He is also an SEC licensed investment advisor. Thank you very much, our speakers. Thank you for joining us. You are welcome, and a very big welcome to you all for joining us today. We'll begin with a presentation from our speakers. And before they begin, I'd like to announce that if you have any questions for our speakers during the course of the presentation, please type it in the chat section. It will be responded to after the presentation. For those of you streaming on YouTube, kindly type your questions under the comment section, and we'll also respond to them during this webinar. So we'll start with Mr. Obiri. Mr. Obiri, thank you for joining us today to discuss the success story of myownpension.
Thank you.
Yes. So would want you to share your screen and then you can begin the presentation. I think Nana Sarfo will join in and then Mr. Day will also join in along the line whilst he's setting up. We just hope that we all try to mute ourselves and turn off our videos so that we can all have a successful webinar today. Once again, thank you for joining us. Mr. Obiri, over to you.
Okay. 1 second.
Okay.
Ms. Obiri, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. I'm going to use the next probably 15 minutes or lesser to talk about the success story of my own pension. Next. Next, Bora. Hello, Nana. Nana, next.
Sorry.
Well, basically, we're going through the introduction, and I'll be taking Ghana's pension industry. My partners will take over the tech breakthrough and the performance analytics. So I think let's just move on straight to the Ghana's pension industry. Well, pensions is about income replacement, and everyone needs it. Whether you are in the formal sector or the informal sector, you need to replace your income when you hit a certain age. And it is critical you have an adequate pension plan in place. If you look at the reasons for pensions in Ghana, basically Ghana's population as of now is about 31.1 million people. And if you look at the labor force, we have about 13.2 million people in the labor force, that's the working category. Now, if you're talking about pensions, active net members, that is those in the formal working category, is just about 1.4 million. About 1.4 million people. And if you look at the gap between those in the formal sector and those in the informal sector, basically it comes to about 90%. 90% are in the informal sector. So there's basically a need for a product that would help those in the informal sector. And that is the thinking, that is the rationale behind MOP. Again, through a lot of good health care, you realize that we are living beyond 60 years. So life expectancy has moved up to 64. We hope in the future we'll get to 78 and 80 years like the US and the UK.
Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, Obiri, I think I'm supposed to do
apologies,
something.
Mr. Obiri. Let me just share my screen from here to assist you.
Okay.
Okay. So can you see my screen?
Let me. Okay.
Yes. Mr. Obiri, can you see my screen? Mr. Obiri, kindly unmute yourself so that we can hear you. We currently cannot hear you. Hello, Mr. Obiri, if you can hear me, please unmute yourself so that we can hear you. Okay.
Or
Yeah,
let
unfortunately,
me.
Mr. Obiri cannot hear me. Nana Sarfo, are you able to share your screen now?
Okay, let me see if I can share it, and then I'll do the presentation. Okay, let me do it.
I think Mr. Obiri is back now.
Okay.
Mr. Obiri, can you hear me? Okay, Nana, you can do the presentation. When Mr. Obiri comes, he will take over from here.
Okay. All right. Cool. Can you send me back to the slide after this one? Okay. No.
Yeah.
One more. One more.
One more. Okay.
Go back. No. You are going forward. Please go back.
Is this
Just
okay?
go to the first slide that you presented. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what Mr. Obiri was trying to say is that we are saying 90% of Ghanaians do not have.
Hello, can you hear me?
He's back on. Okay.
Yes, we can hear you now, Mr. Obiri.
Okay. Nana, can you give me permission to share my screen?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, you have the permission now.
So down to go forward.
Okay, thank you very much. I beg your pardon. I'm very sorry for this hitch. Well, as I was saying, we need to look at the environment in which we're in, the pensions regime in which we're in. And if you look at it, quick summary, we have 31.1 million and 13.2 million in the working regime. 1.4 million are in the formal sector. What it means is that over 10 million people are in the informal sector. And again, with improved healthcare, our life expectancy have moved up to about 64%, and one day we will get to 81 and 78% as in the developed countries. So again, there is a gap and there's a need for a product to help the informal sector replace their income when they hit 60 years and over 60 years. Well, looking at it this way, as I said, 90% are in the informal sector, and the median age of these people are about 20.8 years. Now, what we did was that we took advantage of, and again, I must say thank you to MTN because for allowing us to place this fantastic product on their platform. Now, the challenge was, how are you going to distribute it? How are you going to get to the users? How are you going to get to the subscribers? If you look at it, 54.3% of the population are in the urban areas, and about 77% are literate. That's the literacy rate. So majority of Ghanaians could actually benefit from this company, in fact, of over 25 years if you are making contributions. So we collaborated with MTN. We have over 9.1 million people on Momo. So, and in actual fact, if you look at it, that's the safest way to be able to pay monies or collect monies from the informal sector. Again, there should be, it was a real opportunity for financial inclusion. So again, we leveraged on technology. And that is why if you realize we are number one, because we had a great platform like the MTN's platform, the Momo platform. How does it really work? It's a 3-tier pension thing. We have other partners. We have what is called a custodian, and that is Fidelity Bank. It's a great bank indeed. They are the custodians. So how does it really work? What is the process like? Contribution made, that is, agents go to the informal, convince people, explain the benefits of why you should have your pensions. I mean, straightforward. You need pensions. It is straightforward. These contributions are made to the custodian account. And again, we have a very good expert in investment, and that's the fund manager, and that's Bora Capital. Now, everything rides on the MTN mobile money platform. So Bora would give fantastic investment advice, coupled with the corporate trustee and administrator, and that is United Pension Trustees. So the money then moves into appropriate investment vehicles. I keep on saying appropriate investment vehicles. The risk base of those vehicles are assessed and under compliance. Well, let me, again, it is not a one organization thing. I keep on saying I have partners. Yes, indeed. We know one organization is actually out there boasting that I am MOP, even though, yes, some gentlemen came together to spearhead this in quote crazy idea. We have Fidelity Bank. Fidelity Bank is the custodian, and they would be presenting as well. They have over 78 branches with 2.1 billion under custody. Very, very huge. Proven commitment to play signal role towards financial inclusion. It's not just MOP, they are out there. MTN, you know MTN, is the largest mobile operator with over 20 million data subscribers, 9.1 in excess of 9.1 million active mobile money customers. MTN Mobile Money is the pioneer of mobile financial services. I mean, we all know MTN. United Pension Trustees, where I belong, we are corporate trustees. Number 5, in the pensions industry, we can't have over 1.5 billion series AUM, assets under administration. And even taking out MOP, UPT has over 250,000 members. So out of the 1.4 million former subscribers to SNET, we are in excess of 250,000. If we add MOP to it, we strategically separated the MOP clientele base from the formal sector, so we can actually concentrate on it. Bora is the investment expert, as I said, and again, with over 1.6 billion AUM as of September 2020, a very experienced team in investments, probably the fastest growing fund manager in the country as at now, and well done, team, because MOP is a success story. Well, let's look at some figures here. If you take the number of registered members, basically, in 2018, we had about 186,000, in excess of 186,000 registered members. But if September 2020, we are on 400,000, 392, in excess of 392,000, very significant growth. Now, if we have registered members and we have very active members, some might register and not be very active. So let's look at the active members. As of September, we have 300,000 active members, right from 157. It's actually doubled from 2018 when we officially launched MOP. And if you look at the contributions, it's done the same. From 53 when we launched to 114,000 every single month. And this is a success. I must say for the first 2 years, what we did was to do all the testing, to do all the correcting, So I still call it the test phase, This is the board on which we're going to spring from to hit the millions. In September, we paid individuals, over 63,000 people, even in COVID. I must say it is a COVID-friendly product, because it helped a lot of people when they were in need in terms of COVID. In 2018, people just made withdrawals, only just 1,400 people, from 1,400 to 63,000 people. It shows you how strong, robust this whole fund is. And the fund is still growing. Funny enough, people review and increase their contribution. And that is the trust that the informal sector has in my own pension. I made mention of COVID. Now, what I'm going to do is that COVID has a strong impact, but let us see the impact on MOP and what MOP did for its clients in terms of COVID. I'll hand over to Bora, Nana Sarfo, to take us through COVID and the investment aspect of the whole fund. How good is it? How much money are we making for our clientele? And I must say, if you look at it, it's fantastic. Nana, can you take over and take us through the peak of COVID? What really happened? How did we capitalize?
Thank you very much, Seth. I think you've done a fantastic job explaining today. When there was a lockdown in Ghana, and even around the same time, unfortunately, we had people saying that, even MTN itself, people had to withdraw their money. Then we had MOP as one of the partners, and we had people coming in. Lockdown, you're at home, and if you can check from the graph, you see that the withdrawals are the orange sign, and the amount of claims that was paid was up to 1.2 million, all working from home, and we were not coming to the office, but we were able to seriously pay within 3 to 5 days for every claim that was there. And all of this was handled there. So on average, even in COVID, we were doing between 7,000 to 8,000 people per month. And we're paying on average, we've been paying on average about $1 million. So we would say that the system has been very fantastic. And then in terms of performance, now, as we started 2018 with just 70,000, and that's about us testing the system, whether it worked. From 2018, 60 that we started, we ended September with 58 million as total amount on the scheme, of which the pension is about 37 million and 20 million is in savings. Maybe this is the time to explain. For anybody who subscribes to the scheme, 50% goes into your pension and 50% goes into your savings. We were fortunate to have MPRA allow us to make it simple for people to even withdraw part of their savings within the first 1 year. And as you can see, the withdrawals doing year to date, even year to date is about 8.5 from the savings account. So the savings account is usually the one that people withdraw from. In terms of returns, it is almost like any other scheme, any other pension that we have. 2018, we made 18% weighted average return. 2019, 19.4%. Year to date, if you annualize, it's about 18.3. Now, it's not because we are not doing very well, but because even during COVID, we wanted to make sure that when people needed it, money was reserved. So we kept a lot of money on the bank account without saving. We just have to put them on call. So generally, in terms of performance, it is one of the It's equally performing like any other pension scheme around. Now, in terms of safety, for those who have question mark about the safety of this, as at September end, we had 57.9 million, of which 70% are in Government of Ghana securities. This is government notes and bills and bonds, yielding on average between 18.5 and 19%, some of them even 20.5. Then we have local government and statutory agencies. We have a little exposure to equities, and then we have bank fixed deposits. We are compliant in terms of NPRA's guidelines. So we've been doing very well there. Now, when it comes to returns, I'd like you to say that if you take this as a mutual fund, we wanted to compare to the top mutual funds in Ghana. So we picked the top fixed income mutual funds, the top 3, not top 5, top 3, average it and compare it to my own pension returns. And you see the blue line, that's the top 3 fixed income fund, and each one of them, MOP is beating them more than 1%. So you have a fantastic pension product, easy to access just with your phone, no little human interaction, and yet the returns are fantastic. If you invest in the Government of Ghana, not treasury bills, even 1-year notes, you are doing better. If you look at inflation, you are real returns on your money, that's protecting your investment for the future. We are doing about 8% above inflation, year in, year out. So we say that as far as the investment is concerned, MOP is doing fantastic. It's very attractive for people who are interested in saving for the future. I'll wait here and let Elias take the rest to the end for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nana, and thanks, Seth Obiri. When it gets to this stage, that's why I say the conversation gets very, very interesting. Like my earlier speaker said, we have some of the finest in the industry supporting this my own pension scheme. We have United Administrators, we have Bora, the fund managers, and we have custodian elite, Fidelity Bank as a custodian, and a leading custodian bank, of course. So at this stage, we talk about the safety of the investment, okay? It's extremely important after the investment decision has been taken, the investment has been placed, how are your investments secured? And that is where Fidelity Bank comes in. And it's something we do well, and actually we are the best at it when it comes to the custody space. Okay, so basically what we come on board to do is play the critical function of settlement. Okay, because this my own pension scheme is so well structured, we have segregated functions. What the fund manager does is just to take the investment decision. The Fidelity Bank keeps the money, and we are responsible for the settlement. And because we understand the time value of money, settlements are done close to market deadlines. So, for example, an investment opportunity is gotten, instruction flows to Fidelity Bank. Intraday, same day, it's settled. We don't wait for it to go into the next day, so the scheme would lose value. And other critical functions we perform are reporting. And of course, there's evidence of investments. You know, in all this beautiful analysis and all that, we don't want you to go on retirement only to realize that my own pension does not even have the investments. Okay, so regularly, we provide the board with the evidence of investments, and we have dedicated central security depository account open for all the listed instruments. And also to give you the assurance, assets of my own pension are not commingled with the assets of the bank. They are totally, legally separated. So that said, I'll just run you through some few statistics on my own pension. Okay, so my own pension, in terms of the assets under custody talks about the investment we hold over a 3-year period, it grew from 70,000 Ghana cedis to 58 million Ghana cedis, as mentioned in the presentation by the fund manager. And that is a whopping growth, 70,000 to 58 million in 3 years. And obviously, the growth is due to contributions coming in and investment returns churned out by the fantastic investment decisions taken by the fund manager. And of course, the expertise we bring on board in terms of management of this stellar scheme. And also, we talk about contributions. Contributions grew from 40,000 to 3.3 million over a period of 3 years. And again, Seth Obiri mentioned that it speaks volume. It's a testament to the trust reposed in the service providers managing this scheme. Day in and day out, contributions keep growing. And of course, claim payment in this era, this financial turbulence era, I'm sure you would have people who would want to test the system. So what we do is within 24 hours, once instructions come to the custodian bank for payment, instantly it is processed. Okay, so for the 3-year period that we've run this scheme, regularly, claim payments are made on time, and they are all so happy with the services we provide. And of course, once contributions are going up, contributors would also go up as well. It was mentioned in the presentation by Seth Obiri. Currently, we have over 285,000 active contributors to my own pension scheme. Next slide, please. Okay, so on this slide, I'll just take you back into time. I'll take you 12 months back into time. So you see the growth, the trajectory of my own pension scheme. So 12 months back, that's 2019 Q3, my own pension scheme stood at a market value of 28.9 million Ghana cedis. Okay, so you fast forward 12 months, 2020 Q3 is grown to 57.9 million Ghana cedis. And this was stated in the presentation by the fund manager. So over the 3-year period, it's grown by almost 100%. Okay, and this slide also gives the composition where the investments are placed. As custodians, it's extremely important that every single investment aligns with the provision made by the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. Because we would all go on pension one day, it's very important that investments are not placed outside what has been provided for by the NPRA, that's the regulator. And custodians, Fidelity Bank, we are on top of this, would ensure that all investments are within the permissible asset classes. And one thing we also do is the portfolio valuation report. At any point in time, the custodian performs statistical analysis on your investments. It's good to know what the market value of your investment is or are at any point in time. And also to add to the value of the investment we have is corporate action services, which we provide. And this is a critical function of the custodian, which Fidelity does and does best. Okay, any activity that impacts on the value of the assets we have is immediately communicated to the service providers. For instance, if there's going to be a rights issue or bonus issue or dividend payment on any of the asset classes we have, it's immediately communicated within a reasonable time frame so the scheme does not lose money. And this goes a long way to prove the stellar growth we are showing on my own pension. I think I would pause here and then hand over to the moderator to carry on with his job. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Day, for your presentation. A special thank you to Nana Sarfo and Mr. Obiri for also presenting. Viewers, we are sorry for the hitches that we experienced during the presentation. We thank you for bearing with us and still staying with us. Okay, so I think we've all had a fair idea of what my own pension is about. Would like to state that my own pension is available currently for MTN mobile money users only. MTN mobile money users only. And to register on my own pension, you have to follow these steps. You dial *170#, and then you enter option 5, which is pensions and insurance. And then you choose option 4, which is my own pension. Then you can follow the steps to register. During the registration, you will be asked to provide details of your name, your address, a next of kin, and I think a few others. And then an account will be opened in your name, after which you will be directed to decide what form of investment package you'd want to do in terms of your contribution. So you can decide to contribute daily, weekly, or monthly. The amount to contribute is not capped. You may decide to contribute 1 cedi daily, or 100 cedis daily, or 1,000 cedis monthly, or 5,000 cedis monthly. It's all up to you, and you get to decide what you contribute. After you have made that, what will happen is MTN will automatically deduct the funds from your mobile money account when the period that you indicated is due. So if you choose to contribute weekly and your first registration date is on a Monday, then what happens is every Monday, your account will be debited with the amount that you indicated. If you select monthly contributions, then every month on that particular day, that amount will be debited from your mobile money account. If it happens that the balance in your mobile money account is lower than the amount you indicated to contribute, a text message will be sent to you to prompt you that your balance is inadequate to process your MOP contribution. Then you would be expected to top up your mobile money balance so that the amount can be deducted. If during the course of the period that you've indicated to contribute, you come across an additional fund that you would like to add voluntarily to your contributions, there is an option for you to do so. So let's say you decide to contribute 1,000 cedis every month, or let's say 500 cedis every month. And in the middle of the month, you have maybe 200 cedis in your mobile money balance that you would want to contribute maybe 50 cedis to your my own pension. You can go to *170#, log in. Don't forget that before you access your MOP account on mobile money, there is a special PIN that is assigned to you. You actually choose the PIN. That PIN is different from your mobile money PIN. So someone can get access to your mobile money account, but the person may not be able to access your MOP account because you may decide to have a different PIN for your mobile your MOP account. So before you are able to enter the MOP menu on your mobile money, you would have a special PIN, a 4-digit PIN that you use to log in to enter that. When you enter, there's an option for you to make a voluntary contribution to your My Own Pension scheme. Immediately you contribute towards the scheme, what happens is your money is split into two. 50% goes to your pensions account, another 50% goes to your savings account. The 50% that goes to your pensions account can be accessed, or we use the word withdrawn, after a period of 5 years. And then the other 50% that goes to your savings account can be accessed or withdrawn after a 1-year period. The balance on your account will be sent to you periodically. Whenever your account is debited with a contribution, mobile money will send you a text message with your balance split between pensions and savings. So I think that is it for My Own Pension registration. Okay. We'll continue with your questions. And then if you can still see my screen, so this is the step that you go through, *170# on your mobile money menu, and then financial services. pensions and investments, then my own pension. Select option 1 to enroll. I would like to state that MOP is good and accessible to everyone who has a mobile money account. So if you have a mobile money account, you can register my own pension on it. If you know anyone, maybe your mom, your siblings, anyone who has a mobile money account, you can just sign the person on. The moment you register and then you indicate your periodic contributions, you don't have to do anything else again. All you have to do is make sure that you have enough money in your mobile money account for your account to be debited with the contributions. Okay. So we'll take questions from you, the audience. If you have any question, you can type it in the chat section here, or you can raise your hand and then we'll unmute you to ask your questions. For those of you on YouTube, you can also type in your questions under the comment section on our YouTube channel. Okay, so we have a few from here. I'll read them out. From Esther Boatin. Esther Boatin is asking, how can those of us living abroad come on board? I think this will go to Mr. Obiri. Mr. Obiri, kindly unmute yourself and then respond to the question for us.
Well, that's very interesting. First and foremost, you must be on the MTN mobile money platform. You must have be a subscriber to MTN Mobile. And living abroad, yes, if you have an MTN number and you are on Momo, why not? You just have to follow the steps and register.
Okay.
What we're doing is that we've thought about this strategically. So we're developing an app for the, I'll call it diaspora, not just London, but everywhere, the US, even in Russia. So
okay.
We would put it out there pretty soon. It's under development.
Sure. All right. We'll take this question too from, it says, do I incur any penalties for withdrawal? Mr. Obiri, maybe you can answer that for us too.
If you could take 3 questions, then I could just take all of them. Yeah.
Okay, sure. All right. So the first one is, do I incur any penalties for early or part withdrawal?
Okay.
Then the second one is asking, where exactly is my money being invested?
Okay.
And then the third one is asking, is there another fund manager apart from Bora Capital Advisors?
Okay. All right. Let me take the first one.
Okay.
That is withdrawals happening, whether if I take part of my money, whether there is any penalty, right?
Yes.
In less than 1 year, you forfeit the interest component of it. Why? Because we're helping you to accumulate funds for your pensions. But after 1 year, there's actually no penalty in you withdrawing part of your money from the savings component. It's actually, you have 2 components, the savings and pensions. It's the savings you withdraw the money from. The pensions is for your pensions. So yes, you can withdraw, but before 1 year, you break the fund. So you lose your interest. After 1 year, there's no penalty, there's no charge. Where is my money being held? Well, let me actually tell you about this. This is a very, very safe regime. It is regulated by law. Where your monies are placed is actually regulated by law. Now, part of your monies fall under treasury bills, very safe, fixed deposits, local corporate bonds, local government bonds, yes, local government and equities. Now, the percentages of where your monies are placed actually is governed by law. So if you look at it, that is the reason why we're able to touch more than 62,000 lives without the fund even trembling. So it's a safe regime, and your monies are actually and really safe.
Okay.
The third question is whether
there are other fund managers.
Whether there are other fund managers. For now, no. And I'm looking at it. We chose the expert. We chose Bora, and we actually appreciate his expertise in fund management, his competence. So he's a strong partner of MOP. So no, we have one fund manager, and it's Bora Capital.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Obiri. The next batch of questions. The first one is, like the Deposit Protection Act for banks, is there an act that protects my contributions towards MOP in an event of insolvency of any of the partners involved? So that's the first question. The second one says, how can I increase my periodic payments to MOP? And then the third one is, can one register on MOP through Fidelity Bank, since Fidelity is a partner? So those are the three questions for you.
Okay. The question about insolvency.
Yes.
Let me again come in here. The fund is independent from the service providers. This is a framework that came with the establishment of the three-tier pension scheme. So if a service provider goes bankrupt, insolvent, your fund is safe. Unlike, let's say, the banking sector, where monies are paid to the financial institution, here the monies are paid into a custody account, and then it goes into investment. So the fund is the fund. The service providers are the managers of the fund. So if, let's say, which will never happen anyway, if United Pension Trustees goes down, your fund is intact, your money is intact. This is a robust risk management framework that came with the law. So if you look at it, this is not like the other financial institutions where contributions hit the service providers and where insolvency of a service provider creates a problem.
The third one.
Yes, how to increase payments on your MOP. This is very simple. You just have to go to the MOP menu on *170#. You select option 4 and you go to update records. Option 4, update records. Select option 3. Now, recurring payments, and then you just change it. It's so simple. It's so simple.
Okay.
I think, let me go through again. Menu on *170#. Select option 4, update records. Select option 3, recurring payment, and change. You are there.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Obiri. Let me read out the next batch of questions. We have one from Collins. Collins wants to know, does interest accrue on the 50% parts, the 50% savings parts of the MOP investments? That's 50%. Does interest accrue on the 50% savings parts of the MOP investment? That's the first one. And then the second one is from Na. Na wants to know, if you already have a tier 3 pension, which is voluntary, in another company, how do you transfer those funds to your MOP scheme? That's from Na. And then the third one is, how do you contribute towards MOP if you have an irregular income flow? That's from Angela. How do you contribute if you have an irregular income flow?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I'll come in here again. Basically, to the first question. Yes, Elias. Interest accrues both on the pension component and the savings component. And if you recall, Nana Sarfo, Bora Capital did a presentation on investment returns, and he compared it to two mutual funds where it beat the mutual funds by a margin, just a whole 1.2%. So interest does accrue on both the pensions and the savings component of it. The second question that has to deal with, I have a tier 3 voluntary plan. You want to convert your tier 3 voluntary plan to MOP. That is not a very difficult thing. You call us right after this, and we will give you all the steps to convert your tier 3 to an MOP, to our MOP scheme. So, just give us a call. The third one is, yes, it helps people with irregular income. Now, one bit of it is that you first of all, deductions are not retrospective. What it means is that if I get money today and I'm paying daily, let's say 5 cedis a day, and I exhaust what is on my mobile money wallet and I can't pay. If I get money next week, it doesn't mean it's going to deduct retrospectively. So even though it is irregular, it caters for that. It looks at the whole entire peculiar nature of the informal sector. Now, what you have to do is that, first of all, you contribute a mandate or an amount that you can afford, either daily, weekly, or monthly. Don't actually worry if on the day of deduction you haven't got money. It is not going to charge any penalty for that. I mean, what it means is that if you have set it on a daily tangent and you've missed out for 5 days, you can make a voluntary payment. So you have a windfall. Your business thrives in the 3rd week. You can make a voluntary payment and pay for all the daily or the arrears that you have. So yes, if you have an irregular income, it doesn't really matter. You can make up for it. It's very flexible and it's appropriate for that unique sector.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Obiri. I was just sharing my screen for the participants to see some of the things you were talking about in terms of the statistics and then the returns on MOP investments. Okay. Take another 3. The first one is coming from Desmond. Desmond is asking, can we get periodic payment and periodic statements on MOP? And how can we opt out of the scheme? This one is also from Bonya. What is the fund management fee on MOP and how is it applied? That's from Bonya. The third one is from Clement. What's a typical pension that would be paid out and how would the payments be made when a member dies? So those are the 3 for you today.
Okay.
I hope you got them.
Okay. The first one is to do with statements, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's a simple request. You can just call our helpline on or through our email MOP@United Pension Trustees, or basically you can check your balance straight up by going to *170#. Now the available on our menu, you can just basically opt out. It is not a difficult thing. The same way you can sign up, that same way, if you go to our menu, you can opt out. It is, or you can call 024-243-6880 and tell us you want to opt out. It's as simple as that. It is your money. What we're doing is to manage it for you, to take care of your pension. So if you want your money back, even though we will try to convince you because it's for a purpose, you can always collect your money back.
Okay.
There was a question to do with the fee and
how it's applied.
How it's applied.
Yes.
Now, by law, fees are asset-based. What it means is that the fee is on the AUM, the assets. Yes, and yes, and the fee is about, it's not a big fee, it's about 1% of AUM for the whole year. For the whole year. So if you want monthly, divide it by 12.
Okay.
1% by 12, you get 0 point something. Just do that mathematics and you realize that we are not taking your money. We are growing your money, basically.
Okay.
If I take 100 cedis of your money, I take out one just about 1 cedi or even less than 1 cedi for the whole year. For the whole year. Now, a typical payout is a lump sum. A typical payout is a lump sum. Now, we don't pay the monies in bits. So we don't say come for your money, part of the money today, come for the part of the money next week. We give you a lump sum. So that is a typical payout.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think in the event that a member passes away, the next of kin will be contacted, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So when
Right. Thank you.
one of the information you give to us is your next of kin.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. And the next batch of questions, we have this from Isaac Mills. Isaac is asking, is it possible for a contributor to register online? I think currently no, but are there plans to make MOP an online investment, something that can be accessed online if contributors don't have mobile money? So that's the first one. Then the second one is, are the returns reported during the presentation net of fees, or are they gross returns? And then what is the fee structure of the scheme? I think you answered that. Samuel Otre wants to know, is a withholding tax paid or charged upon withdrawal of investments? Or are there any taxes that has to be borne by the contributor upon withdrawal?
Okay. First one, I think I hit on it a bit. You can't help by go digital. You can't help but go online. So as I really said, we are developing an app where even if you are not in Ghana, you can go online and subscribe to this fantastic fund. So yes, it's in the strategy, it's in the developmental phase, and we'll come out with it very soon. So there is an intent to do that. Withholding tax, there's nothing like that. No, there's no withholding tax if you withdraw your money. You can take your money and we will not charge you for that. Basically, even though it runs on Momo, there are no charges to it, thanks to MTN. And again, the returns are net of fees. the gentleman who asked for whether returns were net of fees, yes, they are net of fees. The returns are fees. So they are real returns. They are not gross returns.
Thank you very much. Okay. So we have other questions, and this one is from Maxwell. Will you be penalized if you decide to opt out of MOP and then take your money? That's the first one from Maxwell. And then, can you make random payments monthly? I think that has been answered. The answer is yes, you can make random payments. It doesn't matter, just choose voluntary payments. Okay, the third one is asking, are there tax exemptions to the contributions? And then, what is the average annual return on the fund since inception? I think we already tackled that. So Mr. Obiri, if you can respond to the first one for me, then we'll take the rest.
Okay, the answer to the first one is no. No. When you take your money, you're not charged.
Okay.
That is, it's pensions, and it's MOP. That is one of the strengths and the benefits of MOP. We're not saying come and take your money. I know people out there thinking if I give you my money, I'm taking it, large chunk out of it. No. In this case, we are not motivating you to take your money. But at the same time, we are not going to penalize you for taking your money.
Okay.
The second one is that, yes, you can make a voluntary payment. As we've answered that, you can make a voluntary payment anytime you want. Your scheme, the scheme is tax exempt as per law. Tax exemption on contributions. You get the exemption when you file for your tax returns. So, for instance, because it's not from, let's say, the former environment where your accountants deducted the contributions before taxing you, you have to file for the tax returns. But yes, it is tax exempt. If you are not under any pension regime, you have up to 35% of your income as tax exempt. So those who do their own jobs, yes, you can file for tax exemption. Okay. For tax returns, sorry, I beg your pardon. And we would assist you if you want to do that.
Okay, thank you very much. We still have some questions, so let me read them out. The first one is asking, will MTN deduct funds from MOP if a contributor owes quick loan, MTN quick loan? That's the first one. The second one is, how long is MOP running for? And will it be converted to a mutual fund in the future? That's the second one. And then the third one is, how protected is the MOP function on mobile money from any hack or security breach? How protected is it? So those are the three questions for you.
Okay. The first MTN deduct when you go on quick loan. Quick, is it?
Yes.
What? Loan.
Yeah, MTN quick loan. Yes.
Pension funds are safeguarded, number one. MTN cannot deduct your funds when you've taken a quick loan. Quick loan is a separate product altogether. It's got nothing to do with MOP. You cannot take a quick loan and MTN deduct the quick loan from your
MOP investment
account. No, it cannot be done. Think through it. I'm even saying if you miss payments, we don't deduct retrospective. It means we don't go back and deduct, how much more another product. So the answer is actually no. The answer is actually no.
Okay.
Now, money does not sit with MTN. Let's clarify this. Money does not sit with MTN. So MTN is not even the capacity to go and deduct money. MTN hasn't collected your money, right? They've given you the mobile, they've given us the mobile platform to use in collecting and investing the money. So when you collect the money, it's a channel of collection. The money goes now to Fidelity. It goes into a custody account where it goes into investment. So MTN doesn't collect your money, so they can't even deduct, right? So these are some of the robust risk management framework that is built into the system. And then the second question is to do with how secured against hackers and
security breach.
Yes. No. It's very interesting, and that's why I laughed. We have gone through a lot of robust tests from cyber security and we're using third parties. Again, if you look at the Momo platform, hacking in is a difficult thing. It is always people trying to deceive other people in collecting their money, but to hack in is a different thing altogether. So since this is not the interaction, there's no human interaction in here, it's a very difficult thing on that other side for somebody to hack in and take the money. There it is very, very secured. Now, I would agree. I know somebody out there saying no system is 100% secured, right? But we have engineers working round the clock to ensure that this whole setup is very, very secured because it's people's pensions, it's people's livelihood, it's people's monies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Obiri. I have a few questions here for Mr. Elias Day. So, Mr. Day, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Prince.
Okay. So the first one is asking, when the contributions are made to mobile money, does the money go to MTN or Fidelity Bank? That's the first one. The second person, Frederick, wants to know that when the contributions are made, are they invested immediately or does the bank use it for their operations before they invest? That's the second one. So if you can respond to these two for me.
Okay, thank you very much, Prince. So like Seth said, MTN just provide a conduit for these contributions to be received. And once it's paid through the MTN channel, the money comes directly to Fidelity Bank as the custodian bank. Okay, so the money sits with Fidelity. Okay, and this asset, like I said earlier, is not commingled with the assets of the bank. So it's secured, it's totally ring-fenced. And when it comes to the investment, okay, the law is clear on that. The law is very clear on that. The law gives a window of 48 hours for investments to be made. So as soon as the money comes, within 48 hours, it is invested. And I must say, the fund manager is doing an excellent job at that. As soon as the money comes, it is invested. So nothing is lost. And the bank, for clarity and for the record, the bank does not use pension monies for its operational activities. These are pensions for investments and would all retire one day. So this has to be well protected.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Day. One last one for you. The person wants to know. Okay, so does Fidelity have a customer care unit for MOP?
Okay, so we have 3 service providers on this scheme. We have the administrator, United Pensions, Fund Manager, and the custodian Fidelity Bank. So anything that borders on customer service and that borders in the particular area you operate on will be directed to the relevant unit. So for example, if it has to do with safekeeping of funds, and the customer really want to understand how it's done, obviously Fidelity will take that up. If it has to do with onboarding, registration, getting on the scheme, United Pensions will take that, and investment-related matters goes to Bora. So yes, customer service is at the top of what we do.
Okay, thank you very much. One question for the fund manager. Okay, one. Emmanuel wants to know, the SEC just increased the capital requirements for fund managers and other market operators. How is Bora prepared for this event? Especially when they, okay, so let me just end here. How is Bora prepared to meet the minimum capital requirements?
Thank you very much. Interesting question. I'm pleased to announce that as at end of September, the board and the shareholders have put up enough money to get to the 2 million. So Bora shareholders have, the 2 million is not an issue for Bora. In fact, the board insisted that the capital is raised a whole 1 year before the guidelines comes up. So we are fully prepared, no worries. The money is in and has been invested.
Okay, thank you very much, Nana Sarfo, for the clarification. We'll continue with Mr. Obiri. Aka wants to know, how can I give instructions for my withdrawals to be paid directly to my bank account instead of my mobile money? That's the first one. I think Aka is owing MTN Quick Loan, so he wants the money to be in his bank account.
Okay. All right.
The second, okay, you can respond to that.
Okay, this taking your money out, as I said, is a very simple process. Right. You can call our call center on 02424 and actually instruct us to pay the monies to your bank account. Or you can send an email on mop@unitedpensiontrustees.com.gh. Now, apart from that, we're making it very, very easy for you. You can WhatsApp us on a couple of numbers. If you have a pen, please just write them down. 059-691-3011. It's either WhatsApp, you can text, you can flash, you can call. 059-691-3012. The same number, but 13. So 111213. Or 054-010-8961. Or 054-010-5181. You just need to let us know, and it is done.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Obiri. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any question that you would want to voice out yourself instead of typing, you can just raise your hand and then we'll unmute you so that you ask your question. So those of you who want to speak to our speakers, you can just raise your hand and then we would invite you to speak. Okay, Mr. Obiri, there is another question. Clement wants to know, how do you report any breaches or any problems you have with your investments and within 48 hours? That's the first one from Clement. Harold also wants to know, how safe are my funds under MOP? How safe are my funds under MOP?
Breaches. There is a process in which we report if there are any. If you say breaches, you mean we've placed monies. I need some clarity on the breaches you're talking about. But this is a regulated business, all right? It's not a business that stands on its own because we manage pension funds. We have a regulator, and the regulator is the NPRA, National Pensions Regulatory Authority. Now, at the end of every month, whatever investments we make, we report that to the regulator. And then we report quarterly as well. And then there is a rigid accountability regime where inspections are done. So if we report monthly on all asset class limits, where you have placed the monies, how strong they are monthly, you do that quarterly, and then they come in for inspections as well. So we are a regulated business. We are not just standing on our own. We are regulated by the regulator which regulates all pensions in Ghana. That is both SNIT, Tier 2 and Tier 3, where MOP falls under a Tier 3 pension plan.
Okay. For those of you who are asking for the contact details of the speakers, and then the contact details for MOP and Fidelity, we'll provide all that to you after the webinar. We'll send you an email. So if you haven't registered with investingh, you can kindly visit our website, www.investingh.info. You click on register. It's just a short form. You fill in your name and then an email address. We'll send you a correspondence right after the webinar. And then our subsequent webinars will be in touch with you, get you all the links and then any detail that you want. We will also provide the presentation and other details under the comment section of this YouTube link. So when we are done, we'll upload a YouTube video for you to access it, and then we'll have the presentation and other contact details available for all of you. So if you've missed it, don't worry, we'll provide it for you. Our team will also type it in the comment section for you to get it as well. All right, let's continue.
Yes,
Mr. Obiri,
yes.
What happens to the funds of a contributor who passes away? And then is it possible to operate different MOP accounts on the same mobile money account? These are the two questions.
Okay.
And then, okay, so I think the first question wants to know for beneficiaries instead of next of kin, beneficiaries. Yeah.
The person wants to know, excuse me, come again.
So instead of next of kin, is there an option for you to indicate maybe you have children that you want the monies to be paid to in an event where you pass away? Is there an option for that, a contributor to indicate that currently or maybe in the future?
All right. Let me start from how safe is MOP. All right. I will just touch on the risk management aspect of it and then the investment aspect of it. All right. It's a 3-pillar thing, and it's required for actually prudent fund management. So we have the custodian, we have the fund manager, we have a corporate trustee. So the funds do not sit with one person. It's a risk management framework that is built into the system. All these 3 parties are independent. What it means is that I cannot own a fund manager or a fund management firm. We cannot have the same board members. There must be total independence. I shouldn't have control over another service provider. And then there's strict regulation, as I spoke about. Now, let's look at the investment aspect of it. Now, if you look at the investment aspect of the whole thing, about 70% of your funds are in the government of Ghana treasuries. And that is the government of Ghana, backed by the government of Ghana. Majority, what is left is in fixed deposits. Fixed deposits are placements in banks. And now there is that surety because there's a deposit protection, for your funds in the bank. So if you look at the placements and you look at your investments, and these investments actually came out of law, they are secured One, because the biggest 70% of the chunk of your money is in GOG, whilst the rest is protected by the deposit protection. So risk management wise, processes wise, your funds are safe. Investment wise, your funds are safe. And then yes, you can have beneficiaries. You can have two beneficiaries. I just learned you can even increase it to 4 beneficiaries. So yes, you can have beneficiaries, 4 beneficiaries. Now, if a client passes away, that's really interesting, because then we need to pay out. So you contact us on our hotlines or email and let us know proof yes, the person is gone. And then since the person would let who the beneficiaries are, then we would pay those beneficiaries as instructed by the subscriber.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Obiri. One more question. I don't know who will take this. I think Mr. Elias Day should take it because it has something to do with banking. Mr. Day, can MOP funds be used to apply for mortgage? Since you work with Fidelity, maybe you can give us an answer on that.
Yes, so I will start, and I'm sure Mr. Seth Obiri would chip in. Yes, the law is very clear on that. That tier 2, tier 3 contributions could be used as collateral for a primary mortgage.
Oh, okay.
Taking it from there, yes, it can be done.
Okay.
Maybe Seth Obiri, you might want to.
Mr. Obiri, do you have something to add on that for us?
Well, certainly the law is clear on that. What it means is that save more, accrue more, build more, and you can use it as, you can assign it as a collateral for a mortgage facility, build your own house, sleep in it, and make a lovely family. Why not? Why not?
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay. So are there plans for, are there plans to increase MOP subscription to non-MTN users currently, whilst you work on your online platform? How about non-MTN users? What do they do?
Why not? Yes, certainly. We will certainly get there.
All right. We have a raised hand here from Stone. Okay. Stone, if you can unmute yourself and then ask your question. Stone, if you can hear me, kindly unmute yourself.
Hello.
Okay. Hi.
Yeah, what I was asking was that if I've registered, okay, to make, let's say, a monthly contribution of 20 Ghana, that totals to about 204. Can I, let's say, pay it? In that case, since I've paid
Hello, Stone, can you hear
bulk
me?
sum for the year, my rate.
Hello?
Yes, Stone. We missed some parts of your question, so if you can repeat it for us.
Can I also apply to join the scheme and get paid? Thank you.
Hello, Stone, can you hear me? Hello, Stone. Okay, I think we've lost Stone. But Mr. Obiri, did you get part of his question? I think part of it, he wanted to know if he can educate people on MOP. And then, yeah.
Okay. The fact is that we can't stop you from talking to people about MOP. Now, to educate people and educate them well, we will be very pleased if you could contact us and we give you a deeper line of education. But yes, we can stop you from what you've gathered now. Yes, if you meet a friend I mean, freedom of speech. I cannot stop you from telling or spreading the gospel that there's a book called MOP. So yes, you can talk to people, but then if you really want to educate and spread the gospel, if you can contact us, we could give you some more education and equip you, so you'll be super competent in educating those who want to educate.
Okay, Mr. Obiri, I think most of us here would want to educate people. So if you can get us maybe a document or a presentation or maybe a one-page document on some of the very important questions, answers to some of the very important questions about MOP, would appreciate it so that we share it with our subscribers and then they can go on and spread a good word for MOP to everyone.
We have taken note of this, and yes, we would share our flyer on the menu, and then if you want to come to our office and contact us as well, you can do that.
Okay, thank you very much. Dominic raised his hand. Dominic, if you are still here and you can hear me, kindly unmute yourself and then you can talk to us. Dominic.
Okay. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Dominic. We can hear you.
Yes. Okay, I wanted to ask, with the savings aspect, does that mean within the 5 years you can withdraw, let's say, 5 times before the pension, the 50% can also be charged out from the pension side? Is that the case? And can you also continue after the 5 years is done?
Wow. I think I heard part of what he said. He was asking if he can withdraw part of his investment before the 5 years, and then after the 5 years, will he get the rest of it? I think that. Yeah.
Well, this, as I said, this is a very flexible scheme. It's meant to meet the objectives of both the informal and the entire Ghanaian working population. You can, after 1 year, you can withdraw part of your money, you can keep on withdrawing, and after 5 years, you can keep on withdrawing. We are not motivating you to withdraw your funds, but for the peculiar nature of that particular sector, we need to meet certain obligations, and that is why we've made it that flexible. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay, thank you very much. Andrews is also here with a question. Andrews, can you hear me?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. The first gentleman who wanted to ask his question, if I get him right, he wanted to find out if, assuming he's supposed to do 20 cedis monthly contribution for, let's say, a year, and he opts to do the lump sum, which is 240 cedis, would that be acceptable by the scheme, or is that acceptable by the scheme? And if it is, would the accumulated interest be different from the monthly contribution, or it will be the same?
Okay. Okay.
Andrews, is that the same question you also wanted to ask?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Maybe I should answer that for you.
Okay.
I think Obiri has said it so many times. This is a very flexible pension scheme. Anytime that you feel like contributing, if you bring the entire 240 today, all of it start earning interest within the next 48 hours. Obviously, if you invest the money today, all of it today, they will get interest for all the 12 months. The next 12 months, all of it will get interest. If you bring it 20 cedis every month, you know that on average, you get an interest of almost just 6 months on it, because the last one, for instance, the last 20 cedis, in a year will just go in, get interest for, let's say, just 30 days, assuming even that the money is received on the 1st. So it is advisable that particularly those who are not sure that they will have regular income, anytime you have a lump sum, just transfer, just top up voluntary. Then if you can't make the 20, it is fine. So I think if you are not sure and you want to do 20, anytime you get a lump sum, you top up. Then it start earning interest for you so that you can plan for the next payment. Okay. Thank you.
To add to it, if you make a lump sum payment of 240 cedis, what it means is that you've paid what you'll be paying in the future now. You make more money, certainly. I mean, you make more money than the gentleman or the lady who decides that I would pay every month. I mean, so yes, you would accrue the interest, you make more money if you make a lump sum. And as Nana has just said, you can make the lump sum and still make your daily, weekly, or monthly contributions. It is very flexible.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Obiri. We also have a raised hand here from Nana Ajiman. Nana, if you can hear me, kindly ask your question. Nana Ajiman, kindly unmute yourself and then.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I have two questions. My first question is that, is there an option for me to decide that for my deductions or contributions, let's say 70% will be going to pensions and then 30% to savings? And then my second question is that, assuming if I decide to make a withdrawal of the savings bit, let's say after 1 year, I decide to make a withdrawal, and then after that, I continue contributing again. What happens? Will the new contribution still be split into 50-50 for the pensions and the savings, or it will be taken to the savings portion until it reaches par with the pensions bit before it splits to both going forward? Thank you.
Okay. And I like your dogs. For now, the design of the product is such a way that the split is a 50-50 split. Whatever you contribute, 50% goes into your pensions, 50% goes into your savings or your investment. We are thinking through it, and we are discussing with the regulator on whether to increase one of the components. But for now, the design is a 50-50 split. Every contribution you make, if you withdraw from your savings after 1 year, every contribution you will still make is split into 50-50. It's a two-way system where 50% goes into your pensions, 50% goes into your savings, and both accrues interest. We're still in talks to see whether we could change that design to suit people like you are thinking of putting 70% in your pensions or 80% in your pensions. But for now, it's a 50-50 split.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Obiri. We still have a few questions here, so we'll take them quickly so that we can conclude. The first one is from Frimpong. Can the trend of politics manipulate MOP? Can the trend of politics, maybe a change in government? That's the first one. Second one from Aka. Is it possible to move my balance in my personal investment account to my MOP account? And then the third one is, when a person passes on and no one contacts the scheme, is there a procedure in place to check on inactive members? That's from Kofi. Okay.
Please, can you repeat the last question? The last question.
The last one. it says that when a person passes on and no one contacts the scheme, is there a procedure in place to check on that person? Because that person will become an inactive contributor or an inactive member.
Okay, thank you. The first one is to do with the political influence.
Yes.
That is a mass market product. It's for 360, in excess of 360,000 contributors. I don't think any government has influence over 360,000 individual people with different minds. So there's no political influence on this. It's people's pensions. It's backed by law. It's backed by law. It was passed at Parliament. So there's an act. The National Pensions Act. Act 766. So there's no influence. There's no political influence in this. It cannot be taken away. It's not for a company. It cannot be taken away. And then the aspect that says that when somebody passes away, what happens? This is what we do internally. There's a system that checks when certain payments go dormant, and then periodic updates are sent to customers. So when we don't actually, you have the right. It is your money. You are in control, so you have the right not to contribute. Okay, but we want you to contribute. So if we don't hear from you, we get. If we continue and we're not getting any response, so we send SMS, we give phone calls, we call people to find out why there's maybe arrears for X number of months. Just to find out the reason.
Okay, I think we've lost Mr. Obiri here. But basically what he's saying is UPT gets in touch with contributors and inactive members to find out the reasons for their failure to contribute. Okay. We have Nana Sarfo and Elias Day, so I'm sure you can take these questions for me as well. This one is from Harold. Nana Sarfo, are you here with me?
Yep.
Okay. So can I subscribe and make contributions on someone's behalf? It's from Harold.
The only way you can subscribe, currently, the only way you can subscribe on behalf of somebody is using the MTN platform or the mobile money that is registered in the person's name, and the person giving you the PIN to be able to use it. So, or even if you're doing it for somebody, that person has to allow you to use the person's PIN to subscribe, because we are built upon the MTN platform where you do the subscription. So you can only do that if the person is with you, unless you come to UP or go to UPT's office and then we can sign you up. But that's a little complex to do. So, but with a mobile phone, you need the person around.
Okay. Mr. Obiri has joined us again. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was trying to address when we lose someone.
Yeah.
When a payment is done, you get a notification. Whoever has that phone would find out and would see those notifications and would definitely get to us. So that is the system in place. Again, if MTN is notified, all third parties, will be notified as well. So that we definitely know we've lost someone. And then if you have personal investment, or you want to do personal investment, or you want to move your personal investment into MOP, yes, it's allowed. And I think I've answered this earlier on. Just contact us and we'll give you all the processes in doing that.
Okay. Thank you very much. There's one more from Clarence. Clarence wants to know, is the interest on the investments same for both pensions and savings? Maybe Nana Sarfo can take that for us. I mean, the returns.
The investment decisions are made based on we don't actually look at the schemes that we are money. What we do is that does the scheme have money? Is it available for long term? If it's available for long term, we make the best decision. So most of the time, what we having is that, or for some of us who subscribe, you realize that the returns are almost the same. The only difference is those people who left a bit early. They didn't wait for the 1 year. And when they left, the interest was then shared among the others who stayed. So you notice that the interest even on the savings account is slightly higher than those who stayed in the pension. But under normal circumstances, the interest should be the same. Usually when we are doing investments, you see that pension line is there, and it's almost the same thing that we buy for the two schemes. But because some people don't wait to share in the interest on the savings, you realize that those who stayed tends to get slightly higher interest. That's the only difference that is happening.
Okay, thank you very much for your response. Mr. Obiri, someone asked, I think that was Harold. Harold wanted to know if he could sign up for someone. But, I want to ask a follow-up question on that. So let's say I have a parent who doesn't have a mobile money account, but I buy a SIM card and then I register it in my name for my parents. And I want to sign my parents up on MOP. Will I be able to make the contributions in her name rather than mine, even though the mobile money account will belong to me? Does MTN check that disparity, or they allow it to function, even though the person's mobile money account has a different name, the MOP account can have a different name?
Thanks. When we use the your mobile number, the name, to set up the KYC, to set up your account. So if I'm called Seth Obiri and my number is 0544339786, the account is for me. All right. What I can do is to make my parents the beneficiary. Okay, but the contributions are made under my name. What you can again do is that my mother is Elizabeth Mensah, so buy get a number for Elizabeth Mensah and put money on it and let it go to Elizabeth Mensah, right?
Okay.
Yes, but we use your number. Your number is actually what we use to set up your KYC at MTN is what we use, as the same KYC here, So you cannot say I'm using my number, but I'm contributing the money, and then the money is for Kojo Bruce. That brings problems.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going through to see if we still have questions. Okay, there is one from, okay, so are there agents for MOP? Agents? Because in your presentation, you said MOP has operated for 3 years, but we've barely seen any promotions in town or on our TV screens or even on social media for MOP over the period. So is that likely to change after this webinar? And also, are there agents that people can visit and say that we want to sign up on MOP or we want to promote MOP or something?
Okay. Yes, we have agents in every region. Yes, we have agents. It's very interesting. You said you haven't seen our agents, and I'm a bit surprised. Well, strategically, as I said, this is the first phase. The first phase to get in excess of 300 and correct all the mistakes. There will be a big bank, a very big bank, So to answer, yes, we have agents If anyone wants to be our agent, you can contact me. You can go to any MTN office and sign up as well. And you can sign up yourself in the comfort of your home, sitting on your sofa, through the steps.
Okay.
Yes. You can sign up. You probably, you haven't encountered any agent. Now you've heard the gospel. You can sign up on your own by just going to one menu. Yes. Now, the COVID impact, so you would have to go easy. And we, again, are telling those out there that you can sign up on your own. Yes, we have agents, but you can sign up on your own as well.
Okay. In your response, you said that if anyone wants to be an agent, the person should contact UPT. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Is that an opportunity to employ people? Is MOP employing agents?
We can discuss that. I mean,
the audience are here, so maybe you're addressing them. So if you're assessing them, we let them know.
Yes, it's based on performance. And again, yes, you will become self-employed because you are an agent. What your performance actually drives your income. So we can have a good chat. You can call on 054-322-5243. So actually employed.
Okay.
I don't think people work because they just want to work without any income. So yes, it makes you self-employed. So you can talk to us. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Obiri, Mr. Elias Day, and Mr. Nana Sarfo. We've exhausted all our questions for now. Unless anyone else has any question, you can quickly send it to me so that we address it before we conclude. But whilst we wait, Mr. Obiri, do you have any final words for us on MOP?
Well, in conclusion, what I would say is that MOP is safe. MOP is safe. It is a product for you, both whether you are in the informal sector or you are in the formal sector. There is the need to save towards your pension. You have fantastic returns because it beat most of the mutual funds. And again, a very strong claim payment regime. You can see that 62,000 last year in COVID. You can sign up yourself. It is flexible. And what I would say is you have to go for it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Obiri. Nana Sarfo, do you also have final words for us? Final words.
For me, I think the message that I would like everybody to carry is that this country, we tried so many pension schemes for the informal sector. SNE tried, everybody has tried. At least we have one that anybody can use to have a pension scheme. And so if you meet a friend or a colleague that you think that person is not formally employed, but this is the way to get the person's future, let the person subscribe. It's one of the easiest to subscribe to and also collect or do the payments. It's voluntary, extremely flexible, and we will make sure that on our side, we will make sure that you get the best returns as if you are the president's money is being managed or the minister's money is being managed. On our side from Bora, we will invest it to the best of our ability and just get the best returns for anybody. So whether you are a kaya, taxi driver, self-employed, get all of them to sign up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nana Sarfo. Thank you very much. Mr. Day, your final words, please.
Yes, from my side, Mr. Seth Obiri and Mr. Nana Sarfo have said it all. This is a great scheme managed by experts, and churning out great returns, and it's in very safe hands, as in a safe custody. So I would encourage everybody to come on board. Definitely, we would all retire one day. We keep praying for long life, so we would go on retirement, and this is what would be our income replacement. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I want to make one last submission.
Okay.
I'm back to it again. And the fact is that with that, how do you register? How do you get on board in the comfort of your home? What I'm trying to say is that everybody or everyone listening to us and those who would listen to us, and if you're on the MTN Momo platform, all what you have to do is follow step 1. Dial *170# on your MTN phone. Step 2, select option 5, financial services. Step 3, select option 4, pension and investment. Step 4, select option 1, my own pension. Then select option 1 again, enroll. It's a very simple process, and follow the prompts. You are on board. You are on board, and you won't be disappointed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Obiri. I'm sharing my screen now, so you can check and then see the steps. You can take a quick screenshot. Don't forget that this presentation will be made available to you even after the webinar, but it will be best for you to register on the investingh website, www.investingh.info. Click register, enter your name and your email address. Immediately you do that and you submit, kindly visit your mailbox for a mail from us. And then you will receive our subsequent newsletters and invitations to our next webinar as well. Before we leave, we have a few announcements. The first one, we want you to stream our previous webinars. We've had webinars on mutual funds, on stocks. We've also discussed how to achieve financial independence. We discussed previously the cost of building a house in Ghana. All these are available on our YouTube channel, investingh. So when you get there, kindly subscribe to our channel so that you get an alert whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video, you get to see it. And then if you watch and you appreciate, you like it, kindly click the like button to support us. We also would entreat you to register, like I said, so that you get our correspondence. We have WhatsApp groups that you can join and then receive our daily news updates. We have daily news updates. We also have magazines that we share. We have reports on the financial markets that we share in our chat groups. All you have to do is join the WhatsApp group. Links to the WhatsApp groups are available on our website, www.investingh.info. You can visit our website, join our WhatsApp groups, and then get interactive with us. We also have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages. You can follow, you can add us, you can like our pages, and then get interactive with us. If you have any questions on investments, on finance, on anything financial related, you can contact us through WhatsApp. You can also contact us via mail. You can reach us anywhere at all and we'll respond to you. If you want to make an investment decision, we have qualified investment advisors who are willing to support you and to guide you to make that investment decision. On the topic of investments, our webinar today was brought to you by Bora Capital Advisors Limited. They are a fund manager. They are also the fund managers of MOP. They're also an investment advisory firm. They provide excellent financial and investment solutions that are tailored towards the needs of individuals and institutions. You can visit their website at www.boraadvisors.com. You can type Bora Capital Advisors on Google and you will be directed to them. Visit them and then get interactive with them. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. For those of you staying with us to the end, we appreciate you. We thank you always for coming. Our next webinar will be in 2 or 3 weeks' time. The topic will decide, and then we'll relay the information to you in due time. But it should be something very interesting, very interactive, something that you enjoy. So just register, and then we'll be in touch with you. Finally, to our speakers, Mr. Nana Sarfo, Mr. Elias Day, and Mr. Seth Obiri, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for joining us today. We have learned a lot about MOP. I have already subscribed to MOP. I subscribed to MOP 2-3 years ago during the launch. And so far I'm doing well. I hope that everyone also subscribes, and then they get other people to join the MOP family so that we secure our tomorrow. So thank you for this opportunity to learn more about MOP. If there are any materials, any products, anything that you would want us to get to the audience or to those who are here with us today, kindly send it to us after the webinar, and then we'll send it via mail to everyone. For the contact details after the webinar, we'll get them and then send it to everyone here. Thank you very much once again, and have a good evening.
Thank you.